Hi guys, this is Kelly, and this weekend I participated in a readathon that was hosted by Farah from a booktube book, and she did a readathon for 2 days, just Friday and Saturday, to read graphic novels. And I just recently started getting into graphic novels, and so I thought this readathon might be a way to read a few more and just see if I liked the genre and wanted to continue to read from it. So I ended up reading 5 graphic novels over the weekend, and so I just wanted to share with you, instead of waiting till my June wrap up, just share with you these graphic novels now and kind of how I rated them and what I thought about them. So I'm going to start with the ones I like the least and going to my favorite ones. And so the first one is Kids Are Weird, which is written and illustrated by Jeffrey Brown. And I gave this 2 stars, and basically what this is just a compilation of funny stories that his kid told. So things that the kid said. And a lot of them are one-off, just one-off panels, or one page that would just be one little comic. And I got this because, I'm a parent of small children, and so I thought, it might be fun, I might connect with it and all that. But really, it just loses its context when it's not at the time. Because I know my kid says a lot of funny things, tells funny stories, but anytime I try to tell those stories to someone else, it always falls flat. And that's because when you're not there in the situation and seeing them first say it and the cute way they say it, it really does lose a lot of the funniness. So I still gave it 2 stars because there were every once in a while a comic that I was like, oh, that's something I would put on my fridge and think it was funny. For example, this one I liked, where it says, pretend I'm the poop and you're pooping me out. When you're a parent of toddlers, there's a lot of poop jokes, and I did crack me up because that was something my daughter would totally say, I can imagine. But overall, I don't think it was really worth a whole book of it. He might do well putting one here and there on social media or something, but the whole book was not really for me. I didn't really enjoy it that much, and I didn't really enjoy the artwork either. It just wasn't my thing. So that was 2 stars for me. And then the next one is Jane, the Fox and Me, which is written by Fanny, Britt, and illustrated by Isabelle, Arsenault. And this one I gave a 2.5 stars, and I feel a little bad giving it that because I don't think it was bad. It was beautifully illustrated. A lot of it, this is a good example because a lot of it is this black and white illustrations when it goes the everyday, and then there's occasionally these really pretty scene pictures. And well, let me explain what it's about so that you can understand. So this is a story about a girl who has lost her friend group. We don't know what happened there, and then she is bullied by these girls, and these girls lead to other people bullying her. And so the things I liked about it was that I do think it gives good example of the debilitating nature of bullying and how that can really destroy a person. And I thought the illustrations were beautiful, but the storyline almost felt just like an outline of a story to me. It didn't really have a lot of depth to it. It didn't really feel like there was enough there to really connect with. And even with the title, the reason it's called Jane the Fox and Me is because the girl in the story, I can't think of what her name is, Helene. She is reading Jane Eyre. So the Jane is Jane Eyre, and so if you haven't read Jane Eyre, you probably shouldn't read this because it basically lays out the entire plot of Jane Eyre. And I haven't read Jane Eyre, but I've seen the movie, so I wasn't spoiled for the book because I've already been spoiled. But if you wanted to read Jane Eyre, you probably shouldn't read this because it details the whole story. So she's reading Jane Eyre, so she's describing the story of Jane Eyre, and anytime she talks about Jane Eyre, the pictures are in color. When she's talking about her life of being bullied, it's in black and white. And then on a camping trip, she meets this fox, and the fox is in color. So that's kind of how the illustrations go, and I think those are beautiful. And like I said, it does have a good point to the story, but it just didn't have enough substance for me to really enjoy it. So that's why I would call it less than average for my enjoyment. And then the next one is The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil, which is written and illustrated by Stephen Collins. And this one I give a 3.5 stars because it's a little above average for me. And for this one, the art is all black and white kind of shades, and I thought the art was like really fun and interesting to look at. But the problems I had were that sometimes I was confused on how to follow the page, and that could be because I'm just starting on graphic novels. But like on this page, it's like he has some up here, but then it goes down and it goes up and like over. And so there's a couple times I got kind of confused and had to kind of reread the page to see how it actually went. So that part kind of got me lost a little bit. And then the other thing I don't love about this is that the story doesn't go into much depth. So I don't really know how to describe what this is about. It is about a beard, basically, and it is about fear of the other. And so like the themes I thought were good themes. Like it's about a town that lives on an island called Here, and they're afraid of all the area on the other side of the sea called There. So it is about being afraid of other, about kind of a mob mentality that when people start to be afraid, how that builds and builds and builds on itself until people make really bad decisions or immoral decisions. And then it's also about how to accept the differences in yourself. So there's some good themes. That's why it was above average for me, because I liked the artwork and I liked the themes, but the story did feel like it could have been more. Like I don't know, it just felt very kind of like I would, by next week, not really think about this ever again. Kind of. So it's not like it really will stick with me. So that's why I only gave it 3.5 stars. And then we're getting into the two that I really liked. And the next one is called Deafo, which is written and illustrated by Cece Bell. And this is a graphic memoir. I don't think it's like fully exactly like her memoir because she is a bunny in this, but she says in the afterword that she did write her feelings from childhood. So I would count this as a memoir. And I think I'm just like a big fan of the graphic memoir. Because I read Persepolis last month and I really enjoyed this one, and this one I also gave a 4.5 stars. And this is a children's graphic novel. Like I would say this is good for kids in elementary school or middle school, and then adults that enjoy reading like coming of age and like childhood stories. So I really enjoyed it, and it's about this girl Cece, or Bunny in the comic, and how when she's 4 she loses her hearing, or becomes severely deaf. So she has a little bit of hearing, but she can't really understand people, so she has hearing loss. And so it's in the 70s, so at that point kind of their technology was called the phonic ear. I'm trying to see if there's a good picture of it. So it's this like contraption that's pretty big. It sits on her chest, and then it has cords to her ears. And so she gets that starting at 4 years old, and then starts school looking different than other kids because she has these cords coming out of her ear and this contraption on her chest. And so it's her story of all the way up to, I think she goes to 6th grade in this, and how she feels different at school, how she deals with kids interacting with her in different ways. So it goes like through her different friendships, and how some of them are people that want to be friends with her because they can just so they can feel like better about themselves, and then some people that don't understand, kids that don't understand how to communicate with her, and then to true friendships and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to learn about her childhood, how she felt, how she interacted with the other children, and how they learned to accept her for just who she is, and that that she just has, that even though she can't hear, that she is a kid and wants to do the same things that other kids want to do. So I thought it was a really well done story. The illustrations are super cute. Like I really enjoyed that. I think it would really be good for an elementary age child to read or to be read to. And it, tells about the accepting who you are and kind of coming of age and all of that. and you just learn a little bit more about somebody who might have a different life than you do. And so I really enjoy that. So I would highly recommend that. And then the last one I read is Am Gandhi, and this is a biography, a graphic biography written by Brad Meltzer, and then it has 25 different illustrators for this. And this, I mean, you could tell it's really small. It's a simple, like, outline biography of Gandhi, so it doesn't go into depth. It just kind of like the key points. But it is beautiful. Like, since it's by 25 different artists, almost every page is a new artist, and it just, I mean, the pictures are just gorgeous, and you see a wide variety of art throughout the book. And I just really loved seeing all the different art styles. I just thought this was a beautiful and inspiring story, because Gandhi was just a very inspirational man, and sometimes, and especially in these times, you need to be reminded that there were people out there that were willing to stand up for something and do it in a way that didn't involve violence, that you can make a difference just by using your silence, using your peaceful nature, and just staying firm on your beliefs, and that you could still make a huge difference. And so I just really enjoyed reading this, and I would totally probably buy this and read it to my children, because I think it's an important story to share. And I also like at the end they give some further reading so that you could, because I'm now inspired to read a whole biography about Gandhi to learn a little more about all the details of his life, because this is all kind of stuff that I kind of knew. It's like the highlights. It is just a good reminder, but I would love to read an entire biography of him, because I did learn a few things and found it really amazing, all the things that he did in his life. So I really like that. So I think that from this weekend and reading those 5 graphic novels, there's some I didn't like, some I liked, and I think that I will continue reading graphic novels. And I think that I might lean more towards the memoir or the biography type of graphic novels, because I really enjoyed those. But I will try out some more novels as well, just to see if there's ones. Maybe I just didn't pick the ones that I would really connect with, so I will continue to try them throughout the year and hopefully find some good ones I like. If you have graphic novels that you really love, let me know and I'll try to check them out, because I really like how a lot of them are short and able to read in like 1 or 2 sittings, because sometimes with my kids I don't have a lot of time to sit down and read a whole book, and if I have like a couple hours where they're taking a nap, and it's nice to just like consume an entire book in that time, and graphic novels are a way to do that. And I love looking at the different art. So I think I found a new genre, and I think BookTube for doing that, because I never probably would have picked up a graphic novel if I hadn't been watching BookTube videos and people recommending them. So I am excited to have a new genre to see. So if you guys have anything you want to recommend, I would love to hear it. All right, thanks. See you next time.